Okay, if you'd like to take your seats, we're ready to go with Microsoft. If you were here yesterday and saw the Best of Enterprise Connect Awards, you saw that Microsoft Teams received that award for the advances that Microsoft has made to this product that they announced a year ago. And I think you're going to get to see some of what was involved in that here in our next keynote. And we're very pleased to welcome Microsoft. Of course, they're one of the companies that is core to this industry and to what just about everyone here does in your communications and collaboration and knowledge management. So without further ado, I want to bring out Bob Davis, Corporate Vice President for Office 365 Engineering at Microsoft.
All right, thank you very much, Eric. Hey, well, hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us live and online. It's great to be here in sunny Orlando. I want to thank Eric and his fabulous team for putting on a great conference. I also want to thank all of our customers and partners that are in the audience today. Hey, I was one of a handful of founders of Office 365. And I've seen it grow from the very first user, from the very first customer, to over 120 million users. It's been a phenomenal journey, and one that would not have been possible without all of the contributions from our customers and partners, who we've gotten to work very closely with. I'm thrilled to be here today and that you join me for this discussion. I'd like to start today by bringing up a word that we've all been hearing a lot about lately: intelligent. It seems like every day we're seeing more and more things in our lives becoming more intelligent. Thermostats that figure out how to save on our electric bill. Watches that study our sleep patterns and make helpful recommendations. And yes, even cars that drive themselves. And we've seen what happens when things get smart. We save time, we know more, we accomplish more. Simply put, life gets simpler. I love that on my Surface, I don't have to remember my password. It remembers me. Windows Hello sees my face, and it unlocks without a fuss. Cortana gives me an overview of my day while I'm on my way to work. And Office 365, my analytics, gives me interesting stats about how I work, like how much time I spend in email, how much time I spend in meetings. And like most of you, I spend a lot of time in both. Everything around us is becoming more and more intelligent. I'm here today to say that it's time to make the way we communicate and collaborate more intelligent. It's time for intelligent communications. Intelligent communications is a broad and long-term vision for our industry, and Microsoft, together with our ecosystem of partners, is so excited to lead the way. Our vision for intelligent communication builds on the amazing work our entire industry has done and continues to do around unified communications. But with intelligent communications, we now forge a new path, a new vision for what we should expect from our communications tools. So what is intelligent communications? What is it really? Intelligent communications is more connected. Think about it. Today, meetings are a set of disconnected experiences. And typically, knowledge falls between the cracks, from one meeting to the next. Things like action items and meeting notes. Intelligent communications treats our interactions more like a life cycle so that they can be easily recalled and shared. It minimizes context switching and gives us a more connected, consistent experience across the multiple tools that we use to communicate and collaborate. Intelligent communications is also more insightful. Powered by AI and machine learning, we get the insights we need in real time. Like that colleague who has just the right skill set to help us, or everything you needed to know about a project that you just joined. Communications isn't just for talking. It's for getting stuff done. So we expect next-gen tools to give us the insights that help us take action. And finally, intelligent communications is proactive. It anticipates our needs and gives us helpful tips to better manage the growing deluge of information and requests that we get each day. Our tools will prompt us to share a file or schedule a meeting or even flag content that we should follow up on. During a meeting, our tools will break down language barriers, it'll eliminate distractions, and even write up the meeting notes. At Microsoft, we've taken our very best technology, including Microsoft 365, Azure, Cortana, and Microsoft AI, to bring intelligent communications to life. And we've tapped into something that is unique to our company, the power of the Microsoft Graph. For something to be intelligent, it needs a brain. And that's exactly what the Microsoft Graph is, a powerful brain that connects to billions of data signals coming from every email, every file, every message sent within Office 365. And on your behalf, we're able to offer up real-time, proactive insights, like predicting who you're most likely to collaborate with on a project, or predicting which person you mean when you say, call James. The Microsoft Graph has already made many of our productivity, security, and developer products more insightful. And we're uniquely positioned to do the same with communications. So, how are we bringing intelligent communications to you and your customers? The answer is Microsoft Teams, which we are so excited was named Best in Show here at Enterprise Connect. A year ago today, we introduced Microsoft Teams, which is our foundation for intelligent communications. What is Teams? Think of it as a digital version of an open work environment where everyone can work together, share information, and be in the know regardless of where they are located or where they sit on an org chart. It's where teams of 2 or 2,000 can chat, call, meet, co-create, and share, where teams need to get people together and get things done. And best of all, Microsoft Teams has intelligence built in, tapping into the Microsoft Graph to give you those connected, insightful, and proactive experiences we've talked about. But hey, enough talking from me. Let's see it in action.
Thank you, Bob. Hi, my name is Mark Potier. I'm an engineer on Microsoft Teams. We don't just build the product, but we use it every single day. And I love to show you some of the features that I really like, and I think you're going to like too. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is reach for my phone. I like to check in and see what's happened at work. And so I start off by launching Teams, and I quickly look through my activity. This is where all my messages have proactively been organized for me to go look at, based on importance, based on whether I've been referenced. I can also look at chat to catch up on recent conversations. I can also go look at my teams to check on all of our group collaboration that's happening. I can look at meetings to get a glimpse of what's ahead for me in the day. And finally, I can look at calls, so I can check up and see whether I've missed any calls from my desk phone at work, and even check up on voicemail. So this gets me going, gets me oriented, and I'm really all caught up in a couple minutes. When I get into work, I switch over to my desktop application. And as you can see, it's organized in the same way as my cell phone is, right? So I have my activity all the way down to my files and calls. The core of Microsoft Teams is really about teams. And so here I'm a member of 5 different teams. A team can be a handful of people that are collaborating together on a project and scale all the way up to thousands of people. It could be a division or a very, very large group. Within a team are individual channels. And this is where people come together to collaborate. So under engineering, you'll find like higher, hardcore engineering stuff like wiring diagrams and code snippets. And maybe under marketing, you might find things like PowerPoint presentations and other fluffy things. But that's kind of where it shows up, right? So we really believe that everybody should be able to work the way that they need to work. And so there's a lot of extensibility built right into Teams. If you have third-party applications that you use on a daily basis, you shouldn't have to sacrifice those. So an example of that is we've added a bunch of applications up here. We have Power BI, we have Trello, and other applications that you can add in. So Trello, for example, it's full integration. It's interactive. I can go ahead and move tasks from one column to the next, get things done, and track my activity. These are just a few of the examples of applications that we have. We have way, way more in our store. And we're just making this richer and richer every day. And you can find all the applications that you need right here to make your teams productive. So how do people actually collaborate in Teams? Well, they post different topics that they want comments on. So for example, Adele here posted a new post on a new customer engagement deck. So I can expand it, read the full post, and I can see that she's even posted the document right here. Well, because we're integrated into Office 365 and we're just part of the suite, I can go ahead and click on that document and see it right in line within Microsoft Teams. I don't even have to jump out to another application. This keeps me focused and on task. If I want, I can even go ahead and edit the documentation and edit the document and add in my review and comments. So that's pretty good. We can also see that people are responding to this particular deck. So Megan, for example, went ahead and replied to us and actually flagged my name as well. And Francois replied in French. Well, I don't speak French, so that's a little bit of a problem. But in Teams, we believe that everybody should be able to communicate regardless of where you are in the world and regardless of what language you speak. So we've built in instant translation, where I can come in and just translate this directly to English. Isn't that awesome? I love it. In fact, Yuna also went ahead and replied in Japanese. We can go ahead and translate that too. Really cool. So she wants an expert to review this before we send it out. Well, I don't really know that much about drones, and I need to find an expert in the organization to help review this. So usually I'd have to go and talk to a colleague and find somebody, and it might take me a day to find the right contact. Well, with Microsoft Teams and the Microsoft Graph, one of the things we can do is we can just ask Teams. So I can say, who knows, if I can type, about drones. So what this is doing is this is looking through all the channels that I'm a member of and looking at the Microsoft Graph and finding the experts in my organization based on the content that they've produced. And this brings it right back so I can get quick access to who the experts are in that particular topic. This saves me a ton of time. No more asking in my organization who is the expert in so-and-so and what topic. Isn't that awesome? I just love that. All right, so we have Delenda, we have, that's going to be our expert. Let's go back in and schedule that meeting. So a few things about meetings and Teams. First of all, we're the full deal. We have, you can do one-on-one meetings, you can do group meetings, you can scale all the way up to broadcast soon in the next quarter. So we really have you covered there. On the devices side, we work on Mac, we work on PC, Android, iOS, and even the web client. So everything has a full meetings experience. You're not sacrificing something by being on a different platform. Other things that we've added recently is we've added anonymous join. So if you happen to have contacts that you need to pull in and they don't use Microsoft Teams, but they have an email address, you can pull them in. They'll receive an invite, they can click on it, they'll use the web client, and they'll be brought into our lobby. From there, you can admit them into the meeting. So that's great. It's huge scope. And finally, we're also investing really heavily in companion device experiences. So what do I mean by that? Well, if I'm in a PowerPoint presentation I'm already presenting from my laptop, I can also join using my phone. And this gives me a couple of new features. The first thing I can do is I can actually control the presentation from my phone. I use it as a remote control. And so I can walk around and present with people and actually advance the slides and back them up and see the content. The other thing I can do is I can access my camera and I can share content around me. So if I'm meeting with people that are off-site and I've written something up on the whiteboard, I can just hold it up and show it to them and it will come right through into the meeting. It's a great way of building more engagement. So we want to schedule this meeting. Let's go ahead and go do that. I can come into this channel and we want to talk about this particular deck. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule it right in the channel. So here we go. We can say talk about drone. And I'm going to go ahead and schedule it right now. And we'll add Delenda. Great. So what this has done is schedule the meeting inside the channel. And now everybody who's part of this channel can see that there's a meeting coming up. Delanda, who I added in, will get an invite on her calendar, so she'll know to join as well. And what happens here is because it's a public meeting, as people see the meeting come online, they'll be able to join it right away and be able to hop in. So let's go ahead and jump into this particular channel. Okay. Here we go. So Delanda joined. We'll go ahead and hop into the meeting. Great. So this is our pre-join experience. So as you can see, I can check myself out, fix my hair, make sure I'm composed, go ahead and decide whether I want to use video or audio and check my devices, and then I can just join. Hi, guys.
Hey, Mark. How's it going?
Good. Hey, Delanda, there's some distraction in the background with that big poster board and with confidential information written all over it. Could you do something about that?
Yeah, let me get rid of it.
Awesome. So this is that cool? Why don't you flip through that a few times? Yeah, so this is a great feature. This is one of the things we're doing to try to make you let you have more successful meetings. If you're happen to be meeting at home and let's say you're doing an interview on the BBC and a little kid runs in behind you, like this would be a great feature to have, wouldn't it? Like you just blur them out. They don't have to see them. We have to work on kid mute next. So that's a great little feature that we have. I think it's going to really be more compelling. Another thing that we can do is we can share content right into the presentation. So before I'd have to go out and share my desktop and maybe access PowerPoint and juggle between apps. Well, now we have all the content right here. In fact, we proactively identify which files are most relevant to this meeting and surface them, and I can just share the content right into the meeting and control the PowerPoint presentation from the meeting itself as well. So it saves me a lot of time in switching between apps. Finally, we also have call recording. So this is coming next quarter, and it'll capture the entire event of the meeting. You'll see people join, you'll see the content that's being presented, you'll even hear all the video or all the audio track of everyone who's speaking. And to give you an idea of what that looks like, that'll be captured, packaged up, and then put back into the channel so other people can refer back to it later. So, bye guys, I'm going to show how meeting recording works. So we have another meeting that we've recorded. It takes a little while to transcribe, so we'll go ahead and open that up. And here I have the whole meeting as it unfolded and as it was recorded.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thanks everyone for joining this morning's call.
What's great about this is that I can
straight in
experience
and
the entire meeting as it occurred. And because this is up in the cloud and we're using our cognitive services, everything is already transcribed, and I can even turn on the closed captioning. So if I'm meeting someplace where I need to be more quiet or I don't want people to overhear, I can go ahead and see that. In addition to that, I can also do search. So for example, I can search on probably the most important thing, which is my name, to find out where I was talked about during this meeting that I didn't attend. I think you'll probably all use this feature. So I can go ahead and click on that. Exactly. So I can go ahead, click on that, and I'm jumped to right at that moment in the video, which is great, right? So I can see exactly what happened. So the last thing I want to show you, which kind of gives you a full feeling of the extent of our product, is the calls tab. So calling is critical, right? And a lot of products have VoIP calling. We have VoIP and PSTN all built in. So what's great about this is that I can not only call everybody in my organization, but anybody on the planet with a phone number. And we're also are building out the complete cloud PBX capabilities. So I have contact, I have history is here, so I can see incoming, outgoing calls. I have my voicemail, complete with transcription, is also included. And of course, I have E911 and all the other regular things that you would expect. But that's basic calling, and we all know that enterprises need a lot more. So we're investing deeply in sort of these enterprise workflows that are required. So things like organizational auto attendant, call queues, delegation, consultative transfer. In fact, right now I'm set up to be a delegate for Ilya. And so, oh, look at that, someone's calling for Ilya. Who knew? We'll go ahead and answer that. Hi, Irina.
Ilya, I would like to learn about devices.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see if Ilya is available. So we've implemented consultative transfer as well. So I can go ahead and select Ilya, reach out to him. He's over there.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Ilya. How are you doing?
I'm good.
That's great. Can you take a call from Irina?
I can. And actually, I was just about to talk about devices, so she could just go ahead and listen in.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. You just saw Mark show you exactly how Microsoft Teams is now a complete hub for collaboration and intelligent communications. It's my privilege to now show you how we are bringing that same Teams intelligent communications experience to every device you need in your workday. So let's start with my personal space right here. I'm sure many of you would agree that the most well-known personal communications device at work is still the IP desk phone. And so this week we announced, together with our partners, that we will be bringing the full native Teams experience to a new generation of IP phones from our friends at Audio Codes and Yealink. Now this Yealink T58A is actually the phone I have on my desk. And I love the crisp big screen because I can fully navigate the whole Teams UX. And actually, I also love having my meeting schedule always visible so that I can join meetings with just one touch. But we're not only bringing that full Teams experience to these devices. We are also enabling natural language interaction powered by Cortana. So if I were to hit the speakerphone button, for example, you don't just get the old dial tone. You get this Cortana experience that shows you all the same skills that Mark just showed on the PC. So I'd be able to do calling. I can find out information about someone like Delonda, all the same skills and insight. Now, with Cortana in Teams, our goal is to make everyday tasks much, much easier. I'm sure you've all had that experience of hitting the 52 keys or so it takes to do a three-way call. Well, with Cortana, all we have to do is ask. Call Delonda Coleman and James Skay. Cortana heard me, is doing exactly what I want. It's just that easy. Thank you. Now, we also know that in your businesses, you now have many mobile-first workers using that awesome mobile Teams experience that Mark just showed you. So for those workers, we're also very proud to announce a new category of devices that we call mobile phone stations. And here I have a preview of the first device in this category from Plantronics. So if I put my mobile device here, it not only charges wirelessly, but it'll also automatically transfer my Teams call or meeting to the built-in super high-quality speakerphone or the great Plantronics headset for privacy. These devices all have dial pad and hard buttons that your users are familiar with, including a Teams button that makes it super easy to get into the Teams experience. We are incredibly excited about how these devices will help your mobile-first users get into Teams very quickly. So let's talk about shared devices, room systems. We know that many of you still have lots of VTCs, maybe legacy devices in your businesses that may not be fully depreciated. So we are partnering with our friends at BlueJeans, Pexip, and Polycom, and they will be delivering new cloud video interop solutions later this year that enable all of your legacy VTCs to join Teams meetings. But we also know that your users are going to ask for and love a full native Teams experience on room systems. So I'm going to go ahead, grab my laptop, and walk over to our meeting room area here, where we can talk about native devices. A year ago, we launched Skype Room Systems to really fantastic industry feedback. People love how these devices enable great audio, great video, and super easy one-touch join for scheduled meetings. This week, we announced that every Skype Room system will also be getting a native Teams experience in just a few months. But we're not stopping there. We know that many meetings today are ad hoc. They don't include a scheduled room. So we are delivering a new proximity detection feature that makes it super easy to pull in any available room system right into a Teams meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and join a meeting here in Teams. And this is the pre-join screen Mark showed you. But now, because it knows that I'm close to a Skype room system, it's giving me the option to join and add the room all in one touch. So when I do that, it's going to go ahead, invite the room. I'll say I really want to join. And not only did the room join, but my laptop joined in content-only mode. That's right, no more annoying audio howling when multiple devices join in the same room. So I'm actually going to go ahead and disconnect on my laptop because there's another innovation from our partners that I want to demonstrate for you. So Delonda is in a room where she is using the same setup I have here. So she's got the new HP Skype room system with the Logitech Meetup. Many of you have told us you love the Logitech Meetup, love its capabilities, and this week our partners at Logitech are announcing a new innovation for the Meetup. Shipping in a few months, they will enable intelligent video. The Meetup will be able to scan and detect people within its field of view and automatically frame the picture on them. So there you saw it do that all automatically. No more having to stare at tiny little people at the back of a conference room. Not only that, but because it detected how many people are in the room, the Meetup will shortly also be able to feed that count back to Teams, and Teams will provide that data to you so that as an IT leader, you have the information you need to really measure your meeting room utilization very well. So there's just one more thing I want to show you on this room system. As I said, we're not just enabling Teams meetings, we're also bringing the power of natural language interaction. So if I want to do something like add someone to the meeting, all I have to do is hit my assistant button, add Mark Potier. And Cortana does it for me. Understands what I wanted, calls Mark backstage, and Mark can just join with one button on his device. It's just that easy. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect so I can tell you about all of our Skype room systems. We are bringing Teams to every room system, and this week our room system family is expanding. Hopefully all of you are familiar with our original room systems, first from Logitech, and then joined shortly later by Polycom and Crestron. Well, this week, we have two new friends in this family. Here I have the new Lenovo, a beautifully integrated system with console and audio built in. And of course, the HP, a very flexible system that comes both with and without this great integrated audio module. Of course, last but certainly not least, we've got our very own Surface Hub. And in just a few months, we will be putting out an update that enables Surface Hub to also natively join Teams meetings. With this lineup of devices, we know we will have a great device for every kind of space, every kind of room system, every possible configuration. We also know that your users are going to love that native Teams experience with Cortana that you can only get on our certified devices. I invite you to check these out today. Thank you.
Good morning. It is truly great to be here with you all on Teams' first birthday. If I think back to last year, Teams was really just a newborn. And what you can see today is the great progress that we have made. Today, Teams is available in 181 markets, 39 languages, with 60% of our users coming from outside of the United States. But what is most remarkable are our customers. Earlier this week, we announced that we have 200,000 organizations around the world using Microsoft Teams. This is up from 125,000 organizations just 6 months ago. We are so excited, and we have learned so much from our partners and our customers over this past year, and want to extend a true thank you to them on Teams' birthday. I would also like to let you hear it from them in their own words. Let's show this video.
At the pace of business today and the evolution of business in a digital world, there's a strong desire to move faster.
Atkins employees have traditionally communicated through email, through third-party conferencing tools.
Our people at Mott MacDonald use Skype for Business online every single day. You've got the full power of the Mott MacDonald community right at your fingertips.
Microsoft Cloud Voice Services make it extremely easy for employees to collaborate.
Since all of our employees are using Skype for Business, we're introducing Teams across the organization as well.
It puts the communications right alongside the content, and that's what you really need for collaboration.
Without having to travel, we can come together much quicker, make decisions, and an important factor is how we're able to communicate with and collaborate with our clients and our partners.
The reaction from people has been incredibly positive. They can share screens, they can share files, they can work collaboratively on documents.
We're driving that editing on the fly within the Teams environment, so the entire team can see that editing.
The ability to use it across multiple devices and multiple modalities is important to us.
The data's secure. People can only see what they're invited to see.
My #1 use feature is the animated GIF. We're trying to drive a cultural change in terms of how people collaborate and work together.
Each of the channels is customizable and extensible. It's that ability to configure your channel as you need it.
We've started to use the cloud recording feature in Microsoft Teams meetings. Once the recording is finished, it appears in the channel, so you can easily refer back to stuff.
This experience for employees is very important because it supports our vision of agile working.
With intelligent communications, we're really excited to see employees flawlessly communicate with their colleagues and their customers. A communication tool has to scale across the globe. Microsoft is right in the middle of that.
The way that Teams operates is the way of our world today and where it's going, versus the way that maybe the corporate world operated before.
And today we're unveiling our new teleporter technology by having Jeff Monaco, the CTO of GE, be here with us in person. You saw Jeff on screen. Jeff, you guys have been going through a journey at GE where you have been rolling out Skype for Business, and now you're starting to roll out Teams. Can you share how that's gone?
Sure. So we really looked at this, the next steps for us in our journey towards intelligent communications across 3 different planes, really. The first was to roll out the Skype for Business client to our employees globally. With 300,000 employees across the globe, operating in 170 different countries, it's quite a challenge. The next was really to empower all those employees with Teams in parallel. And then the last was really around the PSTN voice, the dial tone capability that Skype comes to the market with. So really, we spent Q4 of 2017 aggressively rolling out 220,000 employees on Skype for Business. So obviously very fast pivot for us, and really sort of coming out of that, really looking at 5.5 million meeting minutes per day on this platform. So obviously I have my team looking at every single network monitor every day, making sure that we're successful. For Microsoft Teams, though, we really sort of started an early adopter pilot. We have about 5,000 people using the platform in just 2 months. Great feedback. We're sharing that feedback with Microsoft, seeing great turnaround time on this fantastic platform. The last piece is later on this year, we'll start to leverage that Skype client and further on in Teams to deliver a new dial tone package for our employees.
Oh, really exciting and amazing numbers. Can you share a little bit about your devices strategy?
Sure. So at GE, we have about 2,000 rooms that have voice and video in them, and it's really sort of a mixed bag. So we really are introducing the Skype Room System platform and Surface Hubs, and first of all, amazing things that I'm seeing downstairs from the partners. I'm truly excited to see what comes next. But as we introduce those Skype Room Systems and employees are really feeling comfortable using that technology, we also live in this world of interoperability. So we're using, again, the partners downstairs to make sure that interop works flawlessly for our employees, so that either joining these meetings or even scheduling these meetings is flawless.
Great. And you told me a really interesting story about Skype meeting broadcast. I thought the audience may be interested in. Can you share that?
Sure. So GE's been in the news, as some of you are aware. And really, through that journey, the leadership team has really come together and tried to figure out ways of engaging with our employees to share strategies, give people guidance on what to do next, and operate within the priorities of the company. So it's really seen a huge ramp up in broadcasts. So we've been leveraging the Skype meeting broadcast platform after we launched the Skype platform, Skype for Business platform, and really just in 2 months we see about 600 to 700 meetings taking place with tens of thousands of users, and our employees are really enjoying the fact that leadership is talking directly to them quite frequently.
That's fantastic. Well, we're very excited about the future of Skype and Teams at GE. And with that, we'll turn it back to Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Lori and Jeff. So we've seen how Microsoft Teams has launched our vision for intelligent communications. And we've heard from customers who've already started this journey. Now let's talk about what we're going to do to help you, our customers and partners, bring this to life in your organizations and those that you serve. For several years, I was responsible for Microsoft's IT infrastructure, where our job was to figure out how technology could increase value to our company, to Microsoft. One thing I've learned about taking on new technology is that change is personal and can affect morale and culture. Therefore, change management is as important as any feature. So with that in mind, there are 3 things that I consistently hear from IT departments that I get the opportunity to speak to. First, Microsoft, what are you doing about security, privacy, and compliance? Second, what are you doing to help us deploy and manage Microsoft Teams? And finally, what is Microsoft doing to enable infrastructure like hybrid environments? First, because we've built Teams on top of Office 365, we're able to offer the security, privacy, and compliance that enterprises expect, just like we do for Skype for Business. We're also moving forward to support new privacy standards like GDPR and offering compliance features like legal hold, e-discovery, compliant content search, auditing, and retention policies. Second, we're investing heavily in the tools that you need for management, including call quality and analytics. We're also redesigning our admin experience in Office 365 to provide a more modern experience for all of you. This means giving you as communication experts the ability to manage hybrid environments in order to leverage your existing telephony infrastructure. On Monday, we announced direct routing for Microsoft Teams coming next quarter. This enables you to connect your SIP trunks up to Teams. This will allow Microsoft to bring enterprise voice on a global scale to our customers. And third, for those of you who have been part of this communication journey with Microsoft, we continue to support Skype for Business on premises in your infrastructure. We're planning to release the next version of the Skype for Business server later this year, which will also enable simple pathways to our cloud. When our communications become intelligent, we're more informed, we get a lot more done, and life gets easier. And I want to tell you that we at Microsoft are more committed, more impassioned, and more excited than ever to support you on this mission. Microsoft Teams is the only product on the market that brings everything together. Unified communications and collaboration tools that you can use across a variety of devices like we've seen today. And only Teams has the built-in intelligence across all of these experiences with the enterprise-grade security and compliance we all need for business. As you heard today, many enterprises have already begun this journey towards intelligent communications. We'd love the opportunity to show you how Microsoft Teams can change the way people work and make life easier for all kinds of teams. Thanks for joining us today. Come by our booth and check out all of our new Teams-enabled devices. I loved them all. I particularly love things like conference room phones. We've got the Polycom Trio here, a new entrance from Crestron and Yealink, all running the native Teams experience. So together, let's build the future of intelligent communications.